guys, it's Katie Briggs from UNF MedLife. I just wanted to update you guys on some stuff going on and to help you guys get kickstarted with your personal fundraising. So, we're going to get started with some online fundraising tips. The first one we're going to cover is GoFundMe. I don't know if you guys have heard about GoFundMe before, but it's pretty easy to set up. It only takes a couple of minutes. There's a website if you want to go check it out and see how it works at www.gofundme.com. They've got plenty of information. There's a little video on there to see if you want to see what it's all about. But it's pretty easy to set up. It only takes a couple of minutes. I set one up myself, and it only took a couple of minutes for me to put my picture in there, choose my colors, and put like a little blurb about my cause and everything. And the goal with GoFundMe is to use social media as a tool for that, just to Facebook blast everybody and annoy everybody with that. But you can post the link to that. I've heard it's been very successful in the past. So that's an option for you guys to use. And what I found with GoFundMe versus other online fundraising sites is that GoFundMe doesn't charge your donors any extra money. So other sites may, if you're making a $20 donation to somebody, they may charge an additional processing fee or something like that. But GoFundMe, they just take 5% out of that donation. So your donors don't have to pay anything extra than the money that they're already paying. So you lose a little bit of money in the process, but it's more appeal to your donors, so because they don't feel scammed. So that's GoFundMe. GoFundMe. Another option is the 50/50 campaign, which we talked a little bit about at the meetings, but just to cover it real briefly here, the 50/50 campaign is where 50% of your funds, whatever you raise, will go directly towards you and your trip, and then the other 50% will go to the MedLife Fund. Now, the MedLife Fund is just a fund that MedLife has. I mean, every business needs money for infrastructure, so that'll go to administration and things like that, just maintenance stuff. They need money too. So 50 to you, 50 to the MedLife Fund. Now, to set that up, you don't need to do anything extra if you're planning on going on the trip anyways, but what you're going to do is when you register before January 25th, remember that, mark that on your calendars, you need to pay $150 by January 25th. So when you go online and you register for the mobile clinic, it's going to automatically set up your profile. So you're going to go there and it's going to have your 50/50 campaign already set up. So you'll use that the same way you'd use GoFundMe. You'd Facebook blast everybody with it and, just try to get the word out there, use email and things like that. So that's the 50/50 campaign. So that's just a little bit on online fundraising. Just make sure you follow up with your donors and make sure that, you send them a thank you. Because with that, you could get a lot of donors with small amounts of money. But just make sure that you send out your thank yous. Now, partnership letters. Now, this takes a little bit longer, but the whole idea behind partnership letters is that it's more personal. So really try and keep it personal and really focus on that person. So what you're going to do first, step 1, is write your letter. Now, easy thing is I've already written your letter for you. I mean, you don't have to use that letter. I posted it to the Facebook page. All you have to do is print it out. I left a little spot down there in the bottom for your signature, and there are important dates on there that you need the 150 by January 25th, and you need the rest of your 1800 by February 1st. That's very important. Now, if you decide to write your own letter, which is totally fine, you don't have to use mine, and put a picture in there of yourself, put a picture of the Peruvian flag or, something like that in there. Address it to your donor specifically, like Mr. and Mrs. Smith or Mr. and Mrs. Jones, and then have your letter, and then sign at the bottom, and make sure you include those dates, because if there's no date on there, they're not going to know when to send it, or, the deadline, they're just going to keep putting it off. So make sure you include those dates on there. So that's step 1, write your letter. Step 2, is envelopes and addresses. Now, you'd be surprised how important envelopes are, but they are with this. So what you're going to do, you're going to buy 2 sets of envelopes. You're going to buy one like this, just, the regular letter kind, and then you're going to get a small one like this. So what you're going to do with these is you're going to take your big one and address it to your donor. So it's going to have your donor's address on it with your address in the corner, obviously, and stamp it. And then the little one is going to have your address with a stamp, right? So, with a stamp. So the idea here is when they open your letter, whoop, and then pull it out and read it, and they feel compelled to give to you or to partner with you on this mission, they already have the envelope addressed and ready for you to go. So all they have to do is write a check, stick it in there, and put it in the mailbox. It makes it easy for them. And it's just a kind, it makes it easy. So you're going to put this with your address and a stamp into your big envelope with your letter and send it off. So that's step 3. Send it. Send. So if they don't respond in 3 days, don't freak out. I'm like, oh, they forgot about me. It's okay. Just wait. Give it 2 weeks. 2 weeks after you send your letters out, give them a call. Give all your donors a call. And this follow-up call is very important. So the mindset you want to have is not, oh, please, please help me. I'm begging on my knees. No, that's not really the idea here. What you want to do is really just have the mindset that you're trying to gain partners on this trip. That, like, the population that we're kind of aiming for here is, it's mostly friends and family, and they may be older than us, and they may have more financial resources to help us out, but they may not have the time to go. So think about it this way. If they don't have the time for it, but they do have the money, they can partner with you on this trip to impact the people there. So it's not just you impacting, it's them impacting too with their financial investment. So if you look at it this way, the MedLife statistics say that one student or healthcare provider or nurse or, doctor will impact 30 patients in a mobile clinic. It's pretty intense. So if you think about it that way, they get to be a part of those 30 patients that you impact. That's pretty cool. I would donate to that. So anyways, these are the steps that you want to kind of keep in mind when you're on that phone call. Number 1, remain confident. Don't call them and be like, oh, please, can you please donate to me? Help me go. No. And also, do your research. If you don't feel like you know the cause, if you don't feel like you know MedLife and you can answer people's questions, just go to www.medlifeweb.org. They have all the questions that, all the answers to any question that you could ever have. So just be confident in making that phone call. Step number 2, remain professional. I know you may be calling up friends and family that you're really close with and you have jokes with and stuff, but try to keep it at a business level because you're trying to get a task done. And be assertive with it as well. Step 3, remain respectful if they decline. If, you're on the phone with them and they're like, oh, I'm really sorry. I'm just really tight on money. I really can't. I'm sorry. And be like, oh, come on. We have so much more here than they'll ever have in Peru. And, all this, if they say no, just say, okay, thank you very much for your consideration. I really appreciate it. Would you still like me to keep you updated? Would you like a picture or something like that when I come back? Would you like a letter? And then, just offer them that. Keep it at that. And then also, if you call them and they're like, I'm like, hey, it's Katie Briggs. How are you doing? Oh, hey, Katie, I'm really sorry. I'm at work right now. Can I call you back in a little bit? And then just, oh, okay, what time works for you? Try to set up, like, a time or if they want to meet up in person, respect that as well. Just try try your best to make a time with them, because it's almost like you're making an appointment, which keeps it business-like. So try and set up that time. If you don't count on them to call you back, because they're not going to remember to call you back. So if you don't set up a time, try and call them back in a couple days, and just solidify it. So those are the important things you want to keep in mind. Just stay professional, stay confident, just know your stuff. Remain respectful if they decline your request, and follow up with them again if they're not available to talk. So that's step 4 of the partnership letter process. So once you follow up with a phone call, hopefully you'll get your letters coming in the mail, or you can allow them, send them to the GoFundMe site that you have set up. So there's that. And then, we'll collect our money, and we'll go on the trip. Woo! We'll have fun, and we'll change lives and stuff, and then we'll come back. And just remember, this is very important. Just remember to send them a thank you note and say, hey, thank you. Look, this is like what we did. This is how many people were impacted. All these people came to the clinic. Tell them about the impact that they made over there with their financial donation. And really just thank them for that. And, if you really want to, you can send them like a souvenir, like a bracelet or a t-shirt, or a picture of us on the clinic or something like that. So just keep these things in mind when you're doing your partnership letters and things like that. That's all I have for you guys. If you guys have any other questions or comments, concerns, feel free to comment on this video, or you can message me on Facebook, or you can send me an email at katiebreaks355@yahoo.com, or at the MedLife email. Any of the eBoard members will be able to respond to you from there at unf.medlife@gmail.com. So, catch you guys then. Get on that personal fundraising. Remember, January 25th is the deadline for your deposit. All right? Happy fundraising.